Lamar Jackson is my midseason NFL MVP. That's right. Through 8 games, Big Trust has accomplished something nobody in NFL history has ever done. Not the best week, but we're still 15-13 against the spread on the season, so you're still making money off me. Welcome to Take the Points, presented by Betfred Sports. Let's run the table. 2 double-digit favorites lose outright in Week 9. Buffalo and Dallas. Especially shocking to me, the Cowboys lose at home at Jerry World to the struggling Broncos. Dak Prescott 1 touchdown not until very late. And just when I was all in on the Dallas Cowboys winning the NFC East, Mike McCarthy pulls me back out. You can never trust Big Mike and Big D. And I'd be remiss if I didn't give flowers to the 7-2 Tennessee Titans, who've won 5 straight, with 6 of their wins this season coming against playoff teams from last year. No Derrick Henry, no problem. Tennessee rolling in the AFC. And how about the 8-1 Arizona Cardinals and the 7-2 Ravens? But let's focus on Arizona first. No Hopkins, no Murray, no problem. Cliff Kingsbury, the head coach, texted me before the game. By all means necessary. It wasn't pretty, but they beat San Francisco and continue to dominate the NFC West. All right, guys, it's time for Early Lines We Love, Week 10 edition. Jason Silva's right here from Betfred Sports. He went 2-1 against the spread last week. Jason, what do you like so far heading into Week 10?
Hey, Jordan. Yeah, so looking ahead to lines that I suggest getting on now that will get worse for you later in the week. Like the Browns +1 to the Patriots. We saw them come off in a devastating win yesterday against the Bengals on the road. Very impressed with them. I think game 2 yesterday we saw, and I was on them actually. I really liked that play. And I think another week back with Chubb and Mayfield, this team's going to start grooving. And I think that's a team now you bet now or you wait till later in the week. If you like the Patriots, I think the Browns will be favorite come kickoff. Next game I like, as far as the line move now, Seattle +4.5 at Green Bay. From what I understand, Aaron Rodgers won't be able to practice all week. Saturday, he'll be reinstated back with the team, obviously taking reps all week. I know he's a legend, but I don't see that boding well for them if he does play, and you get the opportunity that they set him for another week. So I think that closes under that key number of 3, so on the other side. And I suggest betting Seattle now at +4.5. And the last one here, the Titans -3. We saw the Titans did on Sunday Night Football playing the Saints. I think this number is just one that you're just not going to get a better one as the week continues, right? With that love from the public side, and I think some sharps will be coming in. So the Titans -3 right now would be the last play I really like to bet today.
I just want to ask you quickly about Seattle and Green Bay. Russell Wilson comes back for basically he's been out a month, 5 weeks if you count the bye. Aaron Rodgers potentially playing. So are you factoring in the fact that Russell's going to be pretty much ready to go?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be sitting there missing a beat, right? Obviously, everybody comes back a little slowly. I like him more next week, but that absolutely comes into my handicap there with that 3. You're going to get Russell back, and you might not see Rodgers. And if you do, it's going to be without practice for 2 full weeks. So, yeah, I'm counting both sides of that. Absolutely.
All right, good deal. Jason, appreciate it. We'll be back with you soon with our best bets of Week 10. With decades of experience, Betfred Sports brings you one of the best sports betting experiences in Colorado, Iowa, and Pennsylvania with a variety of betting options, including in-game wagering, teasers, tons of prop bets, and more. Don't at me, but Lamar Jackson is my midseason NFL MVP. That's right. Through 8 games, Big Trust has accomplished something nobody in NFL history has ever done. 2,000 yards passing, 800 yards rushing, and yet he's done it without his top 2 running backs, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, who were both injured before the season even started. Gotta show love to my man John Harbaugh as well, who's a legitimate Coach of the Year candidate himself. He has guided the Ravens to a 7-2 record, a potential #1 seed in the AFC, and of course, he's done it throughout a whole host of injuries and controversy surrounding both him and the team. John Harbaugh, he's rolling as well. And on this week's Sources Tell Me, it's time to talk Odell Beckham Jr. I reported last week that he had very likely played his last game as a Cleveland Brown, and now he's officially released. I'm told the Saints are potentially interested in Odell, which would be a nice little homecoming, don't forget about that. But also, don't sleep on the Pats, Bucks, and potentially the Seahawks. However, I'm also told that Odell hasn't prioritized the Seahawks as much as the reporting has suggested. That being said, you never really know with OBJ, so take a deep breath and enjoy these next 24 hours. It's time now for my big dog of the week, Roof. 5-2 so far this segment on the season against the spread. We're going to continue that trend, making you money. I like the Philadelphia Eagles catching 2.5 at Mile High. Remember, Denver comes off an emotional and very impressive win at Jerry World, but really this comes down to the Eagles running the ball. Credit Nick Sirianni, 39 designed running plays each of the last 2 weeks to running backs and receivers, not to mention Jalen Hurts, who's been excellent on the ground. They're going to control the clock. They're going to win this game outright in Denver. Okay, bringing back Jason Silva from Betfred Sports for our best bets of the week. Jason, start us off. What do you like?
You know, one of my favorite plays this coming week, Rams -4 on the road at the 49ers. You know, and to be honest, there's just not much I like about this 49ers football team. I don't think the market's low enough on them yet, and the Rams coming off a primetime loss. I think this one is a great number. I know it's past that key number 3, but I'm still laying the 4 here all day as one of my best bets this week.
Yeah, San Francisco is 0-4 straight up at home. And obviously the Rams, I would say, coming back a little motivated after Sunday night. Yeah,
absolutely. It's a great spot. It's a great angle to put into it. And I think the market will be a little lower on them after playing that awful performance. But uncharacteristic things, right? You're not going to see, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL throwing 2 picks, 6 like that. One of them, one of the worst I've seen. Maybe worse than the Carson Wentz pick last week, debatably. But yeah, the market will be a little lower on them, and a great spot to lay the 4.
Okay, next up.
This one's going to be an unpopular pick, and it's actually sitting at 2.5, the number. It's going to be the Vikings playing against the Chargers this week. You know what? The Vikings, I know the record doesn't show it, but this is a competitive football team. They played down to their opponent, but they played up to their opponent week in, week out, coming off close losses to the Ravens and the Cowboys. I think this is a team that's going to break through this week. And you know what? When teams play really close games and you can establish a run game, which they have been able to do, and you got playmakers, you just got to execute. They're going to get over that hump. And I think this is a good spot at plus 130.
So I actually like the Chargers in this game, and they burned me a couple times now. I feel like they've regressed a little bit. They're not defending the run at all. We've seen that. But don't you feel as if this would be a bounce-back opportunity for the Chargers against Minnesota, who really, I mean, come on, are we trusting Kirk Cousins on the road?
Yeah, and you know what? I totally hear that. And again, that's why I lead off saying it's going to be an unpopular pick. But yes, again, I think these close games build them for an opportunity like this to go on the road and get a close one. They're getting 2.5. So odds makers obviously want you to sit there and take that Chargers side right under that key number. You would see it up at that 3.5 on the other end. In my opinion, I like betting 2.5 in the NFL. I'm not even taking the points in this case, but yeah, I think it's a get right spot to break through this team who's right on the line. And you know what? Not only this week, but I like them for the weeks to come. I think this is going to be a team who's going to catch fire.
Back in Mike Zimmer. Okay. Well, before we get to your hometown team of the Pats, I do want to ask you about an over-under you like in the AFC.
Yeah, this week, Chiefs Raiders sitting at 52.5. We've already seen this one come up a point since the early line. This is one I think for the Chiefs, right? This is a team who's really been very how can I put it in a decent way? They've been terrible, right, this season. They haven't been who we thought they were. This week, coming off a performance, only putting up 2 touchdowns. I think this week against the Raiders defense, who's been letting up points to everybody all season, a great spot for them to score. And on the other end, the Chiefs can't stop anybody. So the Raiders offense is up there with one of the best in the league. And I see this total not only rising, I see it closing around 54. So I think 52.5 is a great number. But yeah, I see this one maybe going up the high 50s into the 60s this week. So Raiders scoring all day, and so the Chiefs.
Okay, bet the farm. It's time to load up, fatten those wallets. You're going against your hometown Pats as a slight favorite against the Browns.
Yeah, so, I think this number, it's one that I mentioned in the early lines that we love. This one's going to be flipped on its head, right? So I expect for this Browns team be favored come kickoff, right? So sitting there, I like them at the money line. I don't need that point. Give me a plus 110. We're overcoming the VIG. That's always the objective here, right? Getting the best number we can, and you won't get a better number than this now later in the week. And come kickoff, I think they're going to dismantle the Pats. If you look what the Pats have done this year, they play everybody they should have beat. You could say they've beat them, right? But any game that's been tight or a game they shouldn't win, I know they played well in a big spot against the Cowboys a few weeks ago, but this is a perfect time to sell off on them after coming off a win against the Panthers yesterday.
Well, I hope you continue staying hot because I'm also on the Browns. Jason Silva, Betfred Sports. Thanks for coming on. My best bets week 10 edition. I'm going back to the well with the Cowboys, who let me down against Denver, but I think will roll the 9-point spread against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is more about Dak and that excellent Cowboys offense. I think Prescott will bounce back, but I also think Zeke Elliott and Pollard will get established in a much better way than we saw against Denver. Atlanta has struggled against the run, and I think the Cowboys will air it out eventually with the play action to Cooper. I like Dallas rolling big in this one. Next up, I like the Bills laying 13 at the Meadowlands, and they just had a devastating 9-6 loss against the lowly Jags. I can't imagine Josh Allen, another MVP candidate who struggled week 9, has another bad performance. And you think about the Jets, that secondary has been suspect at best. They just got torched by Carson Wentz and the Colts. I like this big number. Bills minus 13 at the New York Jets. Next up, I like the Arizona Cardinals laying 10 at home against the Carolina Panthers. Another huge number, but this comes down to Sam Darnold, who's been really, really bad. I'm not even sure if he'll last this season with PJ Walker right there. But also Arizona, they had a really unfortunate injury to Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins 2 weeks ago against the Packers. I hope both of those guys will play. Either way, I'm banking on Murray, and I think as a result, Arizona wins this game going away against the Panthers. And for my Bet the Farm game of the week, where's my wallet? Right here. You gotta fatten these wallets up with this one. I got the Chargers minus 2.5 against the Purple People Eaters. Sorry, Jason Silva, but I like Justin Herbert, another MVP candidate who's kind of been subpar of late. I like him to bounce back in a big way. Mike Williams, maybe a big effort from him. Certainly Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen. And even if Dalvin Cook gets his against the league's worst rushing defense, I like the Chargers to roll at home. Thanks for watching Take the Points, brought to you by Betfred Sports. Sign up now and never miss a bet with BetfredSports.com, proud partner of the Denver Broncos and Colorado Rockies. And if you like this video, give it a like and comment below on who you're taking week 10. And of course, follow me on social at Jordan Schultz on Instagram and at The Game Day. We'll see you next week.